what we have to remember here is when you look at the emails that exist from Inspector Ciaran Murphy, which they make no mention of GSOC, and then is the correspondence between him, where he tries to meddle in North Central jurisdiction things, where he actively, Ciaran Murphy, tries to obstruct matters with the paedophile social worker, Terry Madden. So not only do we have that there recorded, we've no record of Inspector Ciaran Murphy ever saying he was from GSOC, ever claiming to be GSOC. He literally signs his email, Inspector Kevin Street. So just more lies, and that's the buffoonery, the pathetic level of buffoonery that is presented with us. Like, this person has no business being a police officer. Probably not even a road sweeper. Sad, pathetic individual. Just like the three buffoons who've been helping him in Irish Town. Terrence Gleeson, a fucking moron. Shane Cahill, as I always say, diminutive goblin who has a problem understanding the most basic of words and construct sentences. So I mean, maybe we can't blame Shane so much because he seems to be operating on subnominal intelligence. But, you know, they did say those Homo florensis people were like, had smaller brains. So maybe really he's just like one step up from jittering along in the darkness and stealing people's babies to eat them. And then you have the absolute fucking buffoon, James Macneill, who thinks that they can just shuffle away pieces of paper from already submitted court documents. All in this project because 17 guards in Kevin Street allowed themselves to be exposed as committing perjury as part of an endemic problem with taking fraudulent cases, all centred around the absolute simpering, malevolent idiot Garda Brian Gillen. But it all really loops back to the absolute imbecile buffoonery of Inspector Ciaran Murphy, because not only does he go into it and get recorded lying to me about the law, trying to mislead me, but he blurts out that his colleague, because he can't not gloat, because he's a fucking buffoon, and a pathetic one at that. Ciaran Murphy can't not gloat that Garda Gillen has organised a large group of his colleagues in Kevin Street to commit perjury. How do we know it's perjury? Because it's been thrown out of court as wholly lacking evidence. And, again, once in the buffoonery, I was accused of scientifically and medically impossible things, which, again, this is how big of a fucking pathetic buffoon this man is. That's Inspector Ciaran Murphy. He even laughs and jokes and kind of admits, pretty much I said over the 3 phone calls, he does admit that, like, the possibility of surviving being covered in petrol is nigh on or nearly impossible, unless you're fucking Superman. So, that's the pathetic buffoonery I'm dealt with. And I'm dealing with the James Macneill, who in some way thinks he's going to rescue his career from this. And, the other, like, fucking hobbit creature. That's a point, because if I ever mention it to Irish Town guards, they laugh at him. The diminutive one, the scuttling ones in the shadows with the claw hands. And then there's the other one, Gleeson. And the most ridiculously the most ridiculous, stupid conversations with. It's like talking to a fucking half lobotomized cow, because he's like sleepwalking into massive fraud, but he wasn't, because he knew. But once again, this all comes back to the pathetic, imbecile buffoonery of Inspector Ciaran Murphy, because really it wouldn't have got this far if he wasn't trying to cover up for his colleagues and cover up for himself, because he couldn't even non-idiot a few phone calls. Like, getting tricked and trapped into that. What a fucking absolute pathetic buffoon your colleague and you are. Happy Easter. Just remember, buffoons, the lot of you.